thinking about the searches that you need to create in order to find the right people. Very often, what I find is that people are not using Boolean modifiers, and they're not getting to the right group of people as quickly as they should. So I'm going to just jump in to LinkedIn, and I'm going to come in to my home page. Notice up in the search area, this is where I'm going to start to build my searches. And right now, I'm in LinkedIn.com. It looks very different in LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and we'll do another session on that another time. But for most people that we work with, they're using either the basic version of LinkedIn or premium. And so they're going to begin all of their searches up at the top. So the Boolean modifiers that you can use that can really help you create a strong and succinct search include the word or, the word and, the word not, quotation marks, and parentheses. So those 5 Boolean modifiers will help you advance your search quite quickly. So for example, if I come in at the top and I simply put in CEO or, and the word or, the word and, the word not must always be capitalized. If I take this to lowercase, the word or will not work in the same way. And I put in Chief Executive Officer. So because I want LinkedIn to pull up Chief Executive Officer as one word, as a phrase, so rather than 3 words, I put it in quotation marks. And sometimes I just put even one word in quotation marks just because I want it to be really very clear. So here, CEO or Chief Executive Officer, because I don't know how that person's put their title in to LinkedIn. So I want to make sure I capture both. Remember, this is based on the relevancy of my network. So your results could look very different. Here, I'm going to put this in. You'll see this is showing me all the different results. I'm just going to come, click on People, and I am going to then see all the people that fit CEO or Chief Executive Officer. Now this is interesting. It's showing 100+ results. Typically it shows me exactly the number of people that fit that search. So LinkedIn, I can tell, is just changing some things up. So what I'm going to do is I can come in and I can now filter by connections, location, and current companies, or I can just click on all filters and see everything at once. If I want to find only my first level connections, so I want to know how many CEOs or Chief Executive Officers I'm connected with that are first level, direct connections, I can just choose that here. I can come in and say, for example, I want all the CEOs or Chief Executive Officers in Baltimore or Miami or Houston, whatever my market is. I can come in and do that. Usually, I'm using this search to find second and third level people. My first level I'm already connected to. Remember, I've shown you how to download your first level connections. That's where I'm usually looking at that list, but I can certainly do it here as well. So second level, third level. If I have pulled out a center of influence that I know has an open network, and we've talked about centers of influence before, I can absolutely drop their name right in here real quickly and just look through their network. So here I'm going to come in and I'm going to put in Baltimore, Maryland. It's where I'm based. I can come down. I can see current companies, past companies, industries. Sometimes we use industries. Maybe you do a lot of work in financial services, for example. So I'm going to pull up all the CEOs or Chief Executive Officers who are my second or third level connections in Baltimore in financial services. I can come in, I can continue to choose different filters, and you have to be careful. Sometimes you might, depending on your network, you might choose too many and you might not get good results because you've narrowed it down too much. Maybe I want to put in a title here. I'm not going to do that because I've actually searched by title up in my search bar. And now I'm going to look at my results. I see 800+ results. Notice I can start to see these are second level. So for example, Leo Kelly and Bill, second level, I can see the number of people we share in common. I can see that they are premium members or might be using Sales Navigator. And I might want to choose those people first because they're paying for LinkedIn. Maybe they're using it a little bit more strategically. On the right-hand side, you will notice that you can click a connect button. Beware, do not click this connect button. This will send off a default connection request to any of these people, and they will not get anything personalized from you. So please, if you're going to look at somebody's profile and you want to connect with them, jump into their full profile, click connect from here, send after you've added a note. So please personalize this with something that's relevant to them and that makes you stand out. I'll show you where that appears in just a moment. Now, even if you are a basic member in LinkedIn, you can save up to 3 searches at any given time. So save those searches so you don't have to keep repeating the searches and creating them over and over again because it's just really a waste of time. Notice if I like this particular search, I can come over and create a search alert. When I click on the search alert, I'm saying that I want a weekly email that comes to me that will notify me of anybody new who's come into my network based on this search. This is so easy to do. It will save so much time if you're actually using LinkedIn for business development or recruiting purposes. Just save 3. It'll save you probably so much frustration just because remembering to do the search over and over again, and probably, I don't know, a couple minutes, here and there. So you're going to create that, you're going to save it, you can say I already have 3 saved. You're going to come back in here, and this is where you can manage those saved searches. This is the key. We can be searching all day long, but let's put some process to it, and let's just create these as saved searches. I can come in, I can edit them, I can delete them. If you're premium, you might have 5 or 7 searches that you can create, and if you're in Sales Navigator, you can create a much larger number of searches and really look at this much differently. So you can see I'm always going to start with my second level because they're going to be easier to connect with. Try to pay attention, see who might be using LinkedIn more than others, reach out to those people first. Here, if I come into my network, I can see my connection requests, and not to call anybody out, but most of the connection requests I receive are not personalized. So I don't know why somebody wants to connect. When they send a personalized connection request, I can then reply to it before I even accept it. So that's another nice feature, is that I can reach out and say, oh, Jerry, have we met somewhere? And he's personalized it so I know that we have not, based on what he's put in here. But I can start a conversation before I accept them into my network. Otherwise, if it's so random, you can choose to just ignore them, and they do not get notified that you've been ignoring them. So this, I think, is an important first step in being really intentional on LinkedIn and getting to beyond a superficial level in how you're using LinkedIn. So Matt, as always, is here with me. Matt, have you tested this lately?
The search?
The search.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot more, I guess, recruiting, or at least the beginning phases of that. And so being able to search with modifiers and Boolean helps me narrow those searches and find exactly who I'm looking for. And then saving them with the alerts, that's another key point, because the first couple times I did it, I was going back and retyping it in, and I was getting different results, and it just makes it easier if you just save it, and then you can just tweak that one search instead of redoing the entire search.
Exactly. So I think that for today, what I want you to take away from our session right now is that if you just create these small incremental changes in how you use LinkedIn, you're going to be further along, you're going to be more intentional, and you're going to get better results. What I want you to think about is if you want to learn more about how to really master LinkedIn one step at a time, because it's a process, you should check out Inside. It's our LinkedIn Mastery program. We've designed it so that you can go deep with content and tutorials, and there's our group coaching session. We're going to be jumping on a session just a little bit long in a few minutes where we're going to really dive into this sort of topic and help people build out their searches and then start to put messaging to them. So if you want to learn more, check out Inside, and we will be making sure that all of our members always have what they need to know when LinkedIn changes, just like I saw today. So it's always changing. That's why we have a business, so you need to stay on top of it. Keep staying in tune with us, and we'll see you next week.